Have you ever looked at your hands and wondered about the journey they have taken, not just in your lifetime, but over millions of years? This is not merely a story of bones and stones, it is your story. It is the story of every person who has ever lived. We are about to embark on an extraordinary journey, a voyage back through the mists of deep time. We will travel to a world you have never seen, yet one that is intimately, profoundly, a part of you. This is a journey to uncover the secrets of our shared human origins, to understand how we came to be. It is the greatest detective story ever told. Our quest begins not in a library, nor in a laboratory, but in the vast open theater of the natural world. It is written in the layers of the earth, whispered on the winds that sweep across ancient plains, and encoded within the very fabric of our being. We will seek the first glimmers of our own consciousness, the first spark of ingenuity that set our ancestors on a path unlike any other. This is a story of survival, of innovation, and of connection. Long before the first human voice echoed through a valley, picture an Earth unshaped by human hands, a planet breathing in slow, geological rhythms. Volcanoes tore the sky asunder, fiery outpourings building new lands, immense tectonic plates grinding and thrusting mountains. This was a world of giants. Vast, steamy jungles far denser than today, colossal insects, colossal amphibians. The air itself was different, thick with oxygen, fueling titanic life. A world of constant, dramatic change. For hundreds of millions of years, other actors dominated the age of reptiles. Dinosaurs rise to prominence, colossal sauropods shaking the ground with every step, feathered hunters, ancestors of birds, our mammalian ancestors. Small, furtive, living in the shadows. Then, 66 million years ago, the world changed in a single, catastrophic day. An asteroid the size of a mountain struck the Earth. The impact triggered a global winter, plunging the planet into darkness and cold, wiping out the dinosaurs and so much of the life they shared the world with. But destruction gives way to opportunity. In the aftermath, our mammalian ancestors emerged from the shadows. They began to diversify, to explore new niches and to grow in size and complexity. In the vast expanse of East Africa's Great Rift Valley, the landscape itself tells a story of geological upheaval. Here, the Earth's crust is tearing apart. Over millions of years, this created perfect conditions for preserving the past. It was in this dramatic setting, 6 to 7 million years ago, that our story began. The lineage that would lead to us split from the one that led to chimpanzees. The first of these creatures, hominins, were not yet human, but had taken a revolutionary step. They stood up. Bipedalism, walking on two legs, changed everything. It freed the hands. Hands that could carry food, defend young, and eventually hold tools. It let early pioneers see over tall grasses, spotting predators and opportunities. We find proof in fossilized bones. A skull like Sahelanthropus tigadensis, found in Chad, shows the spinal opening underneath, a sign of upright posture. One of the most moving evidences was footprints. In Laetoli, Tanzania, a volcanic eruption 3.7 million years ago laid a blanket of ash. Before it hardened, 2 of our ancestors walked across it, perhaps 3. In 1974, the world of paleoanthropology was electrified by a discovery in the dusty badlands of Hadar, Ethiopia. A team led by the American paleoanthropologist Donald Johanson unearthed something extraordinary. Not just a fragment of bone, but a substantial portion of a single skeleton, belonging to a female hominin who had lived 3.2 million years ago. She was a member of the species Australopithecus afarensis, and she would become the most famous fossil ancestor in the world. The team celebrated their find that night in camp, and a Beatles song, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, played on a tape recorder. The name stuck. Lucy had been found. Her discovery was a revelation. Comprising about 40% of a complete skeleton, Lucy provided an unprecedented window into the biology of our early ancestors. Her bones told a clear and compelling story. The structure of her knee joint and her broad, bowl-shaped pelvis proved beyond any doubt that her species walked upright, just like us. Yet her long arms and curved finger bones suggested she was still comfortable in the trees, perhaps nesting there at night for safety. She was a perfect example of a transitional form. A creature beautifully adapted to a life spent both on the ground and in the arboreal world. Lucy was tiny, capacity only slightly larger than that of a modern chimpanzee. She gave us a face for our distant past, a tangible individual we could relate to. Before her, our understanding of these early hominins was based on scattered fragments, making it difficult to piece together a complete picture. Lucy changed all of that. She demonstrated that the fundamental shift to bipedalism occurred long before the dramatic expansion of the brain that we associate with our own genus, Homo. Our ancestors were walking the earth on two legs for millions of years with small, ape-sized brains. The discovery of Lucy and her kind sparked a golden age of fossil hunting in Africa. Scientists flocked to the Great Rift Valley, and with each new find, the story became richer and more complex. We learned that Lucy was not alone. Several different hominin species coexisted at the same time, each experimenting with different ways of surviving. Some of these lineages were evolutionary dead ends, while one, just one, carried the torch forward. Lucy, our distant grandmother, stands as a powerful symbol of this deep, branching history and the remarkable journey that began with those first upright steps on the African savanna. For over a century, the story of our origins was told almost exclusively through the language of bones and stones. Paleontologists painstakingly pieced together our family tree from the fossilized remains of our ancestors. It was a slow, arduous process, kind of like assembling a giant jigsaw puzzle with, honestly, most of the pieces missing. But in the latter half of the 20th century, a new and powerful tool emerged, one that would revolutionize our understanding of the past. This tool was not a trowel or a brush, but the ability to read the very blueprint of life itself, our DNA. The genetic revolution had begun. Inside the nucleus of almost every cell in your body is a complete copy of your personal genetic code. This code, your genome, is a historical document of breathtaking depth and detail. It connects you to your parents, your grandparents, the very first members of our species. Scientists realized that by comparing the DNA of living people from around the world, they could reconstruct a genetic family tree for all of humanity. They could measure the small differences that accumulate over time, using them as a molecular clock to estimate when different populations diverged from one another. This new genetic evidence delivered a stunning confirmation of what the fossil record had long suggested. The greatest genetic diversity among humans is found in Africa. This simple fact is powerful proof that Africa is our ancestral homeland. All non-African populations are descended from a small group of founders who migrated out of the continent tens of thousands of years ago. As they spread across the globe, they carried with them only a subset of the total genetic variation present in Africa. This is why the DNA of two people from different African villages can be more different than the DNA of a European and an indigenous Australian. But the true breakthrough came with our ability to extract and analyze ancient DNA, or aDNA, directly from the bones of our long-dead relatives. This was once the realm of science fiction. DNA is a fragile molecule that breaks down over time. Yet with incredible advances in technology, scientists can now retrieve genetic information from fossils that are tens of thousands of years old. Suddenly, we could see details of our past that were previously invisible. One of the most astonishing revelations came from sequencing the genome of a Neanderthal from a bone found in a cave in Croatia. It showed that modern humans and Neanderthals had a common ancestor but then diverged into separate lineages hundreds of thousands of years ago. When scientists compared the Neanderthal genome to the genomes of modern humans, they found something completely unexpected. People of non-African descent today carry between 1 and 2% Neanderthal DNA in their own genetic code. This could only mean one thing. When our Homo sapiens ancestors migrated out of Africa, they met and interbred with the Neanderthals who were already living in Eurasia. We did not simply replace them, we mixed with them. In 2010, scientists analyzed a tiny fragment of a fingerbone found in Denisova Cave in Siberia. Instead, its DNA belonged to a completely new group of archaic humans, previously unknown to science, the Denisovans. Genetic analysis showed that modern human populations, particularly in Melanesia, Southeast Asia, Australia, carry significant amounts of Denisovan DNA. The neat, linear progression from one species to the next has been replaced by a much more complex and fascinating picture. A web of interconnected populations, a braided stream of genes flowing through time. Our human story is not one of a single, pure lineage, but a rich tapestry woven from many different threads. Armed with a new level of ingenuity and an ever-growing curiosity, our species, Homo sapiens, embarked on the final and most extensive chapter of human expansion. Born in Africa around 300,000 years ago, our ancestors began to look beyond the horizons of their homeland. The first major dispersal out of Africa, sometime after 70,000 years ago, was the beginning of an incredible global odyssey. Their first great migration followed the coastlines of Asia. The world was in the grip of an ice age. Sea levels were much lower, exposing vast coastal plains. From there, they achieved one of the most remarkable feats of exploration in human history: the colonization of Australia. This required crossing open water, a journey of at least 90 kilometers, demanding boats, sophisticated navigational skills, a testament to their incredible resourcefulness. The final frontiers were the Americas. This migration happened with astonishing speed. You are a part of this unfinished story, a living link in the great unbroken chain of humanity.